Okay, guys, this is our first tracing for Romans chapter 1, verses 18 through 25. So what I'm going to do is try to show you basically how to execute a tracing, and I'm going to try to show you on this sheet of paper as we move along how I do it kind of step by step. So that's the handout that I posted on your MyUM website. You can download it, and then I'll show you how I do this kind of step by step, and maybe that will be of some help to you. So again, tracing is you're breaking down the passage into propositions that are not just like prepositional phrases, but you're breaking it up into statements or in clauses, independent or dependent clauses. And as you break it up, then you decide what the relationship between clauses actually is. If you're still struggling with what that means and the words that I'm using, review the tracing handouts 1 through 4, and also the Schreiner article on diagramming and arcing. Arcing is just another way of saying tracing. Arcing also uses arcs. We're going to use basically just lines. And so once you get your passage all broken up, which normally you would do on your own if you had more linguistic background, but I'm going to do it for you each time. So you break it up on your own. First you break it up, and then the first thing you can do right away is link up what we might call more obvious relationships between between phrases and clauses. So more obvious relationships between propositions. So for example, we want to link the things that we can explain the relationships relatively easily and quickly. So here's an example, verse 19a and 19b. Verse 19a, for that which is known about God is made manifest to them. Verse 19b, for God made it manifest to them. So the relationship you'll see is a grounds. You'll see that as a grounds, okay? That which is known about God is made manifest to them because, or for, God made it. God made it manifest to them. So the reason they know about God is because God made it manifest to them. Okay, that's a pretty clear, easy, obvious relationship. Now what you do in tracing is you start with the obvious, clear, easy relationships, and then you broaden out to connect the rest of the propositions together in one larger thought flow diagram. So let's keep going. So that's one easy, tight one. The next one we might see is in verse 20 and 20a and 20b. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and deity, have been clearly seen from the time of the creation of the world, in that they were understood through what has been made. So how have his invisible attributes been understood from the beginning of the world? In that they were understood through what has been made. So he has shown himself in what has been made. If you'll see, again, tracing help number 2, the relationship between those two clauses is an action and a manner. The action is God made, where did it go? There it is. That God made his invisible attributes known since the beginning of the world. And the way he did that is he made them obvious through what has been made. So that's how he made those things manifest. All right, we can keep going. I'm going to skip 20c and go to 21a and 21b. 21a, because even though they knew God, they did not glorify him as God or give thanks. Usually when you see the keyword even, it cues you into the idea that this is a concessive clause. So even though they knew God, they did not honor him as God. You see there, I've done 21a and 21c as a concessive. Again, you'll see tracing guide number 2 gives you keywords that will help you understand the logical relationships between propositions. What's the connection? And you look for keywords like even. That usually signals that the relationship between the two propositions is a concessive relationship. We'll keep going. 21C and 21D, instead they became futile in their reasonings, and their foolish heart was darkened. The relationship is just an and relationship. The and is the linking word that connects the two propositions, so we would call that a series of thoughts, right? This and this. They became darkened. They became futile, and then they became darkened. All right. Now 22A and 21B begins with even again. Even though they professed to be wise, they became fools. Again, a concessive relationship. So you'll see those two things written out there. 21C, 21 further away, 21D, and 22 and 22B. Okay? We'll come back to 23. Go down to 24A and 24B. 24A, therefore God handed them over in the desires of their hearts to uncleanness, so that their bodies would be dishonored among themselves. So the action is that God handed them over. The result, or you might say purpose, the result is that their bodies were dishonored. Again, the action, God handed them over. The result, their bodies would be dishonored. So let's see if you can see that. 24A and 24B, action, result. Okay. Let's go down to 25B and 25C. And in that they worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. What I'm saying that this is an idea explanation. The idea is that they worship the creature rather than the Creator. They dishonored the Creator. And then 25C explains more about who that Creator is, that He is blessed forever. Amen. So, and you'll see 25B and C. Okay? So that's kind of the easiest sort of immediate relationships between clauses. I'm going to pause here and then give you another video explaining, I think, the more broader and really more complex relationships between clauses now.